So we got to the camp that's by the Laguna Chichoy. Chichoy, I think is the name. And it's so peaceful. There's actually a cabin up there, some cows over here, but it's really cool. It's so quiet, except for the cows. But I love it. I really love it. A lot of people asked me why I was leaving the lake. Like, you're gonna go to this small little lagoon lake. They're like, there's nothing there. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. I want to just decompress, relax, look at these little light leaks coming through. Yeah, these are my favorite parts. I love going to the places that are beautiful and there's things to see, but for me to truly decompress, no stress, just plan, organize the rest of the travel, I prefer to be completely in nature like this. No people around, no stray dogs, no restaurants, nothing. This road definitely goes to somebody's house back there, and there's a house right there. But this is going to be a really quiet, remote location, which is so far is really rare in Guatemala. I also have all this laundry to put away. Yay. What? Are you ready? Any female traveling alone will experience this because every female is pretty to every male in the world, right? Come on. So I arrived to this camp. There's like nobody here. You saw the clip with the truck that pulled up behind me, like the delivery truck. That truck was actually blocking the entry to come back to the Laguna. And he apologized. He moved, whatever. But I get back here and then I'm setting up camp and he pulls up. And I was like, hola, hola, buenas tardes, ¿cómo está? Hey, good afternoon, how are you? And he started speaking in Spanish, and I couldn't really understand some of the words that he was saying because my Spanish is just not to like the intermediate level yet. I have a lot to learn. So I immediately say, lo siento, amigo, mi español es muy malo. Mi amigo Jose habla es okay acampar aquí. So I say, sorry, sorry, friend. My Spanish is really bad. My friend Jose said it's okay to camp here. And he says, sí, es bien, bien. But then he keeps talking and I don't understand what he's saying. He's asking me questions. And he's not asking me if I'm traveling alone. He's not asking where I'm from, my name, nothing. I know all of those things in Spanish. He's not saying any of those things. And so I'm like, lo siento, un momento, por favor. I go get my phone to use Google Translate. And I say the same thing. And I type out, like, mi amigo Jose habla es okay, acampar aquí. Because sometimes when I say things, I don't think it's the proper sentence structure. And he's like, I show it to him. He's, sí, bien. And he doesn't say peligroso, like it's dangerous, nothing like this. I don't know. He responds again. He's asking me a question. I don't know what he's asking. I should have just kept recording the whole time, but I didn't. And then I gave him my phone to translate, and I don't think he knew how to do it, but he hands me my phone back and says something else and then says rapina. And I was like, what? Oh, mm. And I was just like, no, lo siento. And he, disculpe, excuse me. And he just like backed up and left. And he backed up and he left. And when I turned, there was an older man walking around the property and he clearly owns the property or owns the farm that's right here. And so I don't know. Super weird, but I'm gonna make my dinner. We have a wild animal coming in. Could be a black bear. Could be a fuck? What are you doing? Hey, buddy. Hi, Porter. Hi, lovey. Hi, Bug. What are you doing? Can't see you. So, one of my friends is messaging me right now and asking me a very common question that I get asked a lot of the times. He is traveling solo at the moment. He is actually cycling like on a pedal bike for 6 months, I believe. Started in the United States and is crossing into Panama tomorrow. And he is asking me, do you ever get lonely? Do you ever feel alone? Of course, we meet so many people when we're traveling, but sometimes you just feel alone. And my response to him is quite honestly, no, I don't really ever feel lonely, but my circumstances are much different. I have Porter, number one. I have the truck and the camper. This is my home. It has all of my creature comforts from home. I never feel like I'm staying in a strange place. I love being in nature. I actually really enjoy being alone, getting out into places like this where there's really nobody around. I find solitude, peace. I can just kind of rest, relax, reboot, plan, organize, and I don't have anything around me really taking up too much of my energy. When you are living on the road, van life, there are just a million more things that you need to do every day. Just finding water sometimes can be really quite a chore. And also, I've been traveling for 4 years full time. I have already went through those lonely places. I think a lot of the times loneliness is just a state of mind, because you're missing something, and most people think missing something that something is always a person, and it's just not really the case for me. I already went to all those parts of my brain. There are definitely certain locations that make me feel lonelier, but it's only because I'm missing friends. Or sometimes, missing having a partner to go through all of the motions with. Definitely, like in Todos Santos in Baja California, I felt super lonely. There were couples everywhere, and it's just like, I gotta get out of here. Whole bush in mainland Mexico was teenagers from Europe everywhere, groups of friends, and I just felt really like I was missing my amigas, and so I left. This was just the sweetest. Porter and I were sitting here having a relaxing afternoon, and this guy came by, played with Porter for a little bit. He was cutting some fresh flowers. He didn't really speak Spanish very well, but he came back later and asked if I would take some photos of him. I'm pretty sure his family owns the property that we're camping on. Okay. Uno, dos, tres. Sonrisa. Coolest thing happened yesterday. I am so used to my truck attracting the attention of men, but now it has turned a corner and it's starting to attract the attention of women, which I think is the coolest, most rewarding thing ever. I had 3 indigenous Mayan ladies come yesterday. They had so many questions about the truck, the camper, my kitchen, my bathroom, where I sleep, and it was just so fulfilling. I think a lot of people look at my life and go, oh, you're so lucky, but it's not. I didn't grow up lucky. I grew up in a single parent household. My dad at most ever made $60,000. From the time I was 14 to 18, I moved over 20 times. I was surviving my entire life, living off of Kraft cheese slices and ketchup sandwiches, ramen. My dad had a not so pleasant life in my teenage years. He was in and out of jail. I was basically raising myself, literally being threatened with foster care. So that's not a comparison to anybody around the world. It's just simply saying if you also grew up in survival mode or with less than, you are capable of doing literally anything you want in this world. And for me to be able to inspire other women, plant those little seeds of courage or just sharing information is the most rewarding thing to me ever. Because when I actually started to get a good job after college, I saw these other women out there traversing the world, making their own path, living by their own rules, and that planted seeds of encouragement and hope and motivation for me to live the life I live now, traveling the world with my dog. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share. Peace. After a few more nights of camping, we decided it was time to finally pack up and head to Antigua. The real truth is I just didn't have any water, so we had to head back to the city. On our way there, I had to pull over emergently because Porter had a seizure. Usually he can come out of these pretty quickly, but today he was really confused. Sometimes I'm not sure if he can see very well when he comes out because he spends a lot of time listening to my voice and smelling my face. So we just stayed parked, let him chill out for about 15 minutes. He was really tired after this one. He didn't even want to get up and walk around or get water. So we just let him sleep before we continued the rest of the drive to Antigua. And that's all for this video. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll check you later.